I want to use this platform to create a safe space for others struggling with their mental health and wellness. So I figured I could at least properly introduce myself. I'm Andre Goodman. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I have an interest in psychology as well as neuroscience, and I'm looking into PhD programs as we speak to add some more letters behind my name because supposedly the world takes you serious when you get a doctorate degree, so that's a must. I'm a flawed husband and father, but I have the best intentions for any and everybody I encounter, and I especially want those inside of my inner circle to win at life. I played professional football in the National Football League for 10 seasons. I was drafted third pick in the third round by the Detroit Lions in the 2002 NFL Draft, where I competed for 4 years before doing a 3-year stint with the Miami Dolphins, which is my mother's favorite team. And I followed that up with a 3-year stint with the Denver Broncos, where I got my first and only playoff victory, thanks to Mr. Tim Tebow and the late, great Demaryius Thomas against the Steelers. But that following week, I played the worst game of my career against Tom Brady and the Patriots in Foxborough. Psychologically, I had played my entire football career as a shell of myself just due to multiple career-threatening injuries. And I could not stomach the thought of my skill set being in another decline. So I officially called it a career and retired from the NFL in 2012. I played my college ball with South Carolina Gamecocks, Spurs Up, and that's where I met a good chunk of my Facebook friends. And Facebook has been the proper speed for me regarding online social engagement. And I probably need to say this up front because if I don't, it'll get taken out of context in the future if and when I repeat it. So I treat these platforms as if I was actually engaging interpersonally. I use a business page to promote my brand, and it's public and it's run by somebody else who's helping me with it. But this is my personal page, and I'll keep it private for various reasons, but primarily setting boundaries is a protective factor for my mental wellness. So it's essential that I maintain some level of influence and control over the comments, the content, the conversations that are created in the space to keep it safe for those who need to share and want to do so without judgment. And secondly, intimate settings are just better. I mean, I love getting to know who I'm engaging with and then wishing them a happy birthday and congratulating them on their kids graduating or just maybe celebrating a life promotion. But with that being said, I mean, feel free to judge me by the numbers, by the followers, by the likes. Just know that whatever you're hearing from me is coming straight from the heart. My spirit has already made peace with it, so I'm solid, I'm calm, I've surrendered those expectations. And for someone who has extreme social anxiety, for the first time in my life, I'm actually craving social engagement. And that is my deepest fear, that this light will shine too bright and that you all will actually get to know the real me and then condemn me for who I am. But finally, I'm in a good mental space that I'm able to face this fear. So fuck it, here we go. And that's how I started my first official Facebook post. About a year ago, I was coming into the defense of J. Cole, who's my favorite artist. And if you know anything about J. Cole, you know his music is authentic. And he's very transparent when he's discussing his mental struggles and his mental wellness. So when he used his public platform to say that 7-minute drill didn't sit right with his spirit and it disrupted his peace, I empathized immediately. And I could not become a bigger fan of J. Cole's than I already am, but he's the reason why I hopped on social media, because I felt like he allowed social influence to get him outside of himself. And for someone who takes pride in being who they are, we're not easily influenced by the crowd. So he took a friendly jab back at K. Dot to insert himself in that battle for the number one spot. And I just wanted to share my take on it. And I started it with F it, here we go. You know, I'm not much of a communicator, but I had to articulate thoughts that were begging to be released. Like it took a lot of energy from me to muster up the courage to engage with the world. And I said I'll be brief, just in case there wasn't an appetite for my worldview. And although I'm unbothered by the lack of value anybody assigns to its importance, there's only one me, so my insecurities are rather secure. Very few people know anything about me. Actually, I don't recall the majority of my own life. The characters in my mind garner more attention than my reality. So maybe I'm ill. But if I could manufacture an artist to author my manuscript, oh man, he had the social consciousness of Mr. Machiavelli, the temperament of Darkman X, and then that lyrical wordplay of Dre 3000. But if I had to choose the modern day artist, my undisputed vote goes to J. Cole. Who that, you ask? The man from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He paints powerful portraits with his pen. He's been in the news lately for prioritizing his mental health over toxicity. The music industry has deemed him unworthy of that #1 spot because his peace of mind is disturbed by his admitted fabrication. But anyone who's actually listened to Mortal Man in its entirety knows that K-Dot is a mastermind whose body of work deserves to be celebrated. But it's that fear of judgment, that fear of rejection, the fear of failure that stifles the mind and prevents self-realization. And I fell victim to it. I voluntarily retired from the National Football League, but involuntarily retired from life because I felt unworthy of it. And although there are borderline dysfunctions, I'm elated to announce my intentions of checking myself back into this game, man. I'm eager. I'm eager to attract the allotment of blessings that were reallocated as a penalty for my lack of faith and my God-given ability. But then again, maybe I'm ill for believing in my own legacy. Only time will tell. But I welcome you all to my platform. I have no idea what it's going to look like, and I'm unbothered by it. And FYI, I keep my hat low to hide from the camera. I am terrified of the spotlight. But that's a topic for another time. I have an individual session I need to prep for. Thank y'all for listening. Goodie out.